I'm sure you've looked a lot at Filip Hrgovic as a fellow contender rising through the ranks. What do you make of him as a fighter?
I think Hrgovic is a good fighter. He has, solid background, solid amateur experience, and he's undefeated as a pro, of course. But the last two fights, you see some holes there. I think with Shang and Dempsey McKean, right? So I think they're both southpaws actually, but I see some holes and not much. Maybe not the technique and stuff, but maybe mental a little bit. Almost looked like he wanted to quit with Shang, and kind of felt the same way when he fought Dempsey McKean. There was certain spots in there didn't look that good and didn't really look like he wanted to be in there sometimes. So it's kind of strange to me.
And as you say, he's unbeaten, but your only defeat has come against most people's pick as the best heavyweight in the world right now. So you've certainly fought the superior opposition, perhaps overall, although obviously Zhang is a good win for him now in hindsight.
Right. I think it's a great fight for me. I think it will be a huge opportunity to win the heavyweight championship, and Sweden hasn't had a heavyweight champion since Ingemar Johansson. That was 60 years ago. So that would be amazing.
Is there a fair chance that you might have to travel to your opponent's backyard or certainly a place of his team's choosing once again? And if that is the case, has the Gassiev win put you in a better position to adapt to those challenges?
Yeah, I don't pay much mind to where the fight's going to be in that, but I have a hard time seeing the fight taking place in Croatia. We'll see what's going to happen, who's going to be the promoter. So, I mean, I have a hard time seeing it's going to take place there, but we'll see. You never know. And if it takes place there, doesn't matter. I mean, I've been fighting almost my whole career. Uh, I've been fighting almost everywhere, so I'm used to it.
And obviously, Eddie Hearn co-promotes Hrgovic. You're well known to UK fans. I guess there must be at least a decent chance that the fight takes place over here in the UK.
Yeah, I'm open to that. That'd be nice. I think that UK fans are really good, so that would be. I'm not against that.
Glad to hear it. Now, mentioned Fury a couple of times already in passing. You are obviously linked with him on a regular basis. You did give him that horrible fight, and he was cut and bleeding. It's an image that stayed with people for a long time. It's rare that we've seen him that troubled, certainly since. He's got this crossover fight with UFC MMA or former UFC MMA superstar in Francis Ngannou. First question on that, I guess, is will you be watching it?
Is it free? If I can see it for free,
not, no.
I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna pay for it. I think it's gonna be an easy fight for Fury. He goes as long as he wants it to go. I think. I mean, I've been watching Ngannou a little bit, and he's a great MMA fighter, but this is boxing, and he's fighting the best boxer in the heavyweight division. So it's gonna be a really hard fight for him. And the same thing, if Fury would have gone to MMA, he would have got destroyed also. So I think that Fury's gonna win, and it all depends on how long he wants to carry him, I think.
Yeah, and there's kind of a whole moral or ethical argument about this. So one side says, boxing's a short career. You guys are putting your lives on the line. If there's no mandatory obligation, which there isn't currently for Fury with the WBC, earn as much money as you can. The flip side of that is, should the reigning world heavyweight champion be wasting one of his few appearances, outings per year on what is essentially an exhibition that you wouldn't expect him to have any trouble winning? Well, where do you sit on that?
I think it's hard. I understand why Fury is doing it. He's probably making a ton of money, and to have a pretty easy fight. So I would probably do the same, to be honest. But it would be nice to see him defend the title against a top 15 guy. His last fight was against Chisora. Now he's fighting Ngannou. So start looking at things. It's not great. If he would be more active and fight more, maybe I'd give him a pass. But like I said, I understand why he does it, and to make that kind of money for a pretty easy fight, I understand it.
And obviously the world title's your end goal, and you're very close to it now. How does a rematch with Fury rank against that in terms of your objectives in your career? Because it is your only defeat.
Right. I would like to fight Fury again, of course. But right now, I'm really just thinking about the title. If I get a shot at the title, win the title, that would be amazing. And first and foremost, and then we take it from there. Maybe get a rematch with Fury if he's still the champion. And there's got to be a lot of opportunities out there that happens.
Yeah, I think because a lot of people have said, oh, how seriously will we take the IBF title holder if it's from a vacant title that Fury or Usyk have given up? But I think Anthony Joshua would never have ascended to the peak in the first place if it hadn't been for Fury vacating the IBF title in the first place, obviously via a couple of other people, Charles Martin most notably. What's your view on that? Can you win a world title but perhaps not be seen as the man in the division? And does that bother you?
It doesn't bother me, but I can understand it. I mean, I rate Tyson Fury as the best heavyweight right now. I would love to have a rematch with him and beat him. Then I would be the man. But I think that, I mean, I understand people looking at him as the best guy, and maybe Usyk too. But I'm not bothered by that. I just want to win the title and then take it from there.
I talked about Anthony Joshua. He's someone you know well. You've been linked with him as a pro a couple of times. You fought him as an amateur, of course, as well. He's making a bit of news this week. I don't know if the fact that it's Fury Fight Week is coincidental in that. But he's talking about changing trainers once again. He's hinted he might still fight Deontay Wilder on the same show as Usyk and Fury. And I think what's got the most press, certainly in the UK, has been his decision recently. I don't know if you saw this, to go into an isolation retreat, including a dark space that he spent apparently 4 days in. What do you make of this Joshua stuff?
Yeah, there was a lot there. I have heard about this retreat. I read some headlines about it. I don't really know what it is, and I don't know what it would do to him. But changing trainers again, I didn't know that, and I think that seems like it hasn't worked so far. And honestly, I don't think it's gonna work. I mean, with whoever he has, I think that something is not right if you keep changing the trainer. He had a very good run with McCracken, and they, of course, are not together anymore. But that might have been the best fit for him. He kind of grew up with him, spent all those years with him, and had all those successes. So sometimes you need a change, but it's not always for the better. And that's what it seems like right now. He doesn't seem like he's gotten better with the new trainers. So it's going to be hard for him if he just keeps changing the trainer, because at some point you got to just trust the trainer that you have and make him trust you that you're not going to leave him, so that you can both build together and start winning fights.
And if he were to go in with Deontay Wilder next time out, given, as you said, his recent form's not been particularly impressive, perhaps his first fight of a new trainer as well, if what he said is true, would you be concerned for him in that fight with Wilder?
I wouldn't be concerned for him because it's boxing and
Sure.
somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But I think that Wilder would be the favorite. Wilder, he's very big puncher. Josh is a big puncher too, but Josh has just been hesitant lately. And I think that when you fight Wilder, you really got to believe in yourself and be able to go places that you really need to do. Because if you're just trying to box and do what he was doing his last few fights, it's going to be very hard against Wilder, and eventually he's going to land.